Hello and welcome to my elegant and strong sequence. Before we go into it, I just wanted to explain the elegant and strong. The elegant, I wanted some nice sort of fluid, free, almost dance-like moves, and the strong you will definitely know when you get to that. So I won't need to explain, you'll definitely know when you get to that strong point. But hopefully at the end of it you'll feel replenished, elegant and strong. So let's begin. So we're going to start in extended child's pose. Now when I say extended, I mean my knees are going to be far apart as is comfortable on the mat, and then I'm just going to walk my hands out and extend my arms. So forehead down on the mat, chin on the mat, side of your face, cheek on the mat, whatever you're feeling most comfortable doing today. And just stay here and ground yourself for 3 good breaths, in through the nose and out through the nose. And then after that, we're going to come up into tabletop. Now, starting with our right arm and our left leg, so that takes a little while to get clear in your mind. We're going to extend the right arm and the left leg. And we're just going to balance, so with the left hand that's still down on the mat, really part those fingers so they're nice and wide on the mat, which will really help with balance. And then the top of the right foot really push into the mat, and that will really help there. Don't worry if you wobble, just come back into tabletop and then just go back into the pose again. And the extended leg, if you point your toes downwards. And then we're just going to swap, so we're going to extend our left leg. No, we're not, we're going to extend our right leg and our left arm. Just do that another 2 times on each side. So right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. Got it. And just 1 more on each side. This is really good for toning and strengthening the core. If you're holding in, pulling in those tummy muscles as we do that. And then when you've done, just come back into tabletop and then sit on your mats and extend your legs out in front of you. Now again, like I said, we're going to keep our toes activated, so that means pointing up to the ceiling. So we don't want them falling to one side or the other, and it can also help protect the knee joint as well for keeping everything contracted and active. Okay, so what we're going to do now is keep our legs extended. If here you feel like you need a block under those knees to make it more comfortable on its side or flat, then please feel free to use that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to bring our arms up above our heads. Now it's important here that we're keeping our hips and our sit bones facing towards our feet, and then we're just going to turn to face your right. So the only thing that should be facing this way is your torso, head, neck, shoulders, arms. Your sit bones, hips, legs, feet should all be pointing out in front of you. And then come into the middle and then go to the left. And we're just going to do it 2 more times on each side. So come to the middle and then back to the right. Side. And then 1 more on each side. It's actually tougher than it looks. It's a simple move, but you can actually really feel it, especially if you are fighting for keeping those hips facing forward. It really is a strong move. So now we're going to do a little mermaid pose here. So if you just sit and you have your legs facing out to your left first of all, you can stack the knees, but it's probably more comfortable to be a lot more fluid and a lot more relaxed. So just as if you're just sitting there relaxing, chatting to a friend, just have the feet parted, don't have to stack the knees, just have the top knee on your shin. That's more comfortable. Okay, so legs out to the left, right arm just slightly off the mat behind you. Then we're going to bring that left arm up and then we're just going to turn all of our body the opposite way to our legs and feet. Now go as little or as far as what your body will allow, so don't push anything. So if for some of you it looks like this, or some of you it might just be staying like this and just turning. So whatever you feel like doing, but the full pose is just opposite way to your feet and legs, but just do it in stages and listen to your body. And then we're just going to go to the other side, so keeping our legs and feet how they are. The left arm is going to lead and go to the mat behind you, or just off the mat, and then the right arm is going to come above. You should feel that nice stretch all down that right side, even into the hip. And then back to the other side, and then back over again, so feel that nice left side stretch. And we're just going to do one more each side before we swap our legs over. And if you have any stiffness in your neck and you just want to keep your gaze forward, then you can do that. I'm just, without really thinking about it, just following where my hands are, but you can keep looking forward if you do have any neck problems. And then just come back to the middle. Okay, and then we're just going to swap our legs over. So our legs and feet are pointing to your right side. Okay, and just get it nice and comfortable first. Okay, might feel slightly different on each side, but just go with it. Okay, and keeping that spine nice and straight. I'm just going to place left hand, and the right is just going to come up. And just turn. So it's nice and elegant. Call it mermaid. Just imagine a nice elegant mermaid sitting on a rock, sunbathing. And just two more on each side. Just nice and fluid, nice and elegant, nice and soft. And then the last one. And then back to the middle. Now from here, we're going to meet in a forward fold. We're not going to do the traditional one where we have our legs straight. We're going to have a nice deep bend in those knees. So if you just keep your feet sort of hip width apart, and then a really nice deep bend in those knees, a nice stretch in those thighs, and just enjoy being here for a little while. So you can put your hands wherever you want. You can put your hands behind your shins, you can put them on top of your feet, you can put them just above your buttocks, wherever you feel like your hands want to go, or just on the floor and again on a block. So you've got plenty of options. Just let your hands lead, let your body lead, listen to what your body needs. I'm just going to place mine on top of my feet today. And then we're just going to slowly come out of that. And then we're going to clasp our hands together in prayer, and then we're just going to do a little back bend there. And then coming back to the middle. Now what we're going to do is some open shoulder twists. So what we're going to do is we're going to start, just going to open our hands here. Again, like we did on the floor, we're going to stay with that same pattern. We're going to have our hips facing forward, but then we're going to turn to the right. So keeping everything facing forward, but your torso, your shoulder, your chest, all facing to the right side for this twist. So your right arm is leading for this one. So I'll go back to the start again from the mini back bend. And then it is up, open the hands, and then your right hand is going to lead through to behind you. Follow that hand if you can, and then the left hand's going to be out in front of you. So just looking over that right shoulder. And then we're going to bring our hands up, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. So looking over that left shoulder, following that left hand. And we're going to do two more on each side. Just keep that nice and fluid, nice and elegant, nice and slow. And then one more on each side. And then back up to the middle. And then we're going to meet back in our forward fold. So nice deep bend in those knees, hands wherever it's comfortable. Just enjoy that stretch for a moment, feel that lengthening of the spine. And then we're going to come up, hands to prayer, and then we're going to have a mini back bend, and then we're going to do 3 more of the shoulder twists on each side. So starting on the right. And sometimes it's nice to close your eyes if you really want to feel the movement, and also matching your breath to your movement. It's quite an art to try and keep your hips facing forward. It's like almost chopping the body in half, but you will get there. And then just lower those hands. Okay, so let's meet on our mats in a seated pose just for a moment. So now we've done a little bit of elegant moves with the arms, which is absolutely wonderful. Should feel nice and flowy now. Now we're going to do a little bit of the strength I was saying about. Now we're going to take time in getting really good at this. I mean, I'm still not great at what we're about to do, but you can only get better by keeping on doing it and trying. And with time, you will find it gets easier, and yeah, you won't notice the good pain so much. So let's go into downward facing dog. So just come up into that slowly, and then if you just want to paddle out your legs one at a time, just enjoy the movement in this pose. Some people call this an active relax. No tension in the neck here. Relax your neck, relax your face muscles, let your head hang, crown to the mat. Just paddle out a few times. Right, so from here, what I'm going to ask you to do is we're going to lower our knees, so we're just hovering over the mat, and then we're going to do the same with our arms. So it's sort of like a plank, it's sort of like a big cat that's seen their prey. So wide fingers, and then we're just going to lower, and then back into downward dog. And we're going to do that another 2 times. So remembering the breathing, that's really important here. So knees hovering, bending those elbows, and then pushing back up into downward facing dog. And then you'll be glad to hear the last one. So just lowering those knees. It's kind of like a harder version of a push-up or press-up. And then back into downward facing dog. Now from here, we're going to go into dolphin. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our forearms on the mat, and then just pushing our hip bones, our buttocks up to the ceiling. Your head may reach the mat here, so that's fine, just go with that. And just enjoy dolphin pose for a little while. Or enjoy might be a strong word. And then we're just going to come up and see if we can just do forearm plank here. So keeping those hands nice and wide, pushing those legs and bum up off the mat, resting on those toes, and then coming up and then going into puppy dog, which will feel absolutely wonderful after what you've just done. So well done if you have managed it, and you will get there if you didn't manage it. Like I said, I'm still getting there. So just enjoy puppy pose, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. And just enjoy. So now we're going to come up in what we call crescent moon. So you're going to get your right leg bent in front of you, sort of look like a box pose at the moment. And your left leg is going to be bent and behind you, and your top of your foot flat on the mat. Okay. So when you manage to get into this pose, just ground yourself. You might feel a bit wobbly after what you've just done, and just bring your arms up above your head. And just enjoy crescent pose, crescent moon. So now I'm just going to ask you with your right hand to grab your left wrist, and if your balance is allowing today, just pulling the arm down towards the right and just feeling that nice stretch in the left side and in the left hip. And then just coming up to the middle and just swapping the grip, so just taking hold of your right wrist and pulling down to the left. It's a bit of a mouthful to get my head and speech round is all the lefts and the rights. We'll get there. Just feeling that lovely stretch down that right side and that right hip. And then just coming back up into your crescent. Now from here, we're just gonna, hands on the mat, just balance. Keeping the back leg as it is, I'm just going to straighten that front leg. So if you just need to guide it a little bit like I just did, that's fine. Just as long as those toes are activated and facing the ceiling. Now if you can, I'm going to ask you just to flatten your hands on the mat and just deepen that stretch in that leg. So you should feel a really lovely stretch in that thigh there. And again, to protect joints, especially the knee, you need to keep those toes activated, please. And if you feel like you can, then just lower a little bit more over that leg. If you feel like you can't, that's fine. For some of you, this may have to look more like this, so you'd have a wall behind you for balance, and you just straighten up that front leg like this and just stay high, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, and then for this hand, you can just put wherever you want, just for balance and just for putting your hands somewhere safe. So for some of you it may look like this, but with practice you will get to this. So don't push yourself if you can't do that. Okay, and then we're just going to swap those legs over. So we're going to bring our left leg, not leg, our left leg out in front of us. Keeping those toes activated, top of the right foot, flat on the mat, and then we're just going to fold over that leg. So as long as that front leg is straight, it doesn't matter what the rest of you is doing. So if you're in this pose and you're able to completely do it and lean forward, then brilliant. But like I said before, as long as that left leg's straight, what we want is that nice stretch in that leg and that thigh. So lean onto something if you've got a chair or a wall or something that's sturdy behind you. And it may just look like this for some of you. And then you'll gradually get to the full one like this. Okay? So now we're going to go into supine. So this will feel lovely after what we've done. We've put our body through it today, but it will also thank us. Okay, so what we're going to do is make yourself comfortable. So for some of us, it may be that you might want a block under your head now, just for extra bit of comfort, or you may not. It's up to you how you're feeling. So we're going to let our left leg lay straight on the mat, and we're just going to pull our right leg into the body. And just enjoy pulling it in, and just twisting that ankle 3 times one way and 3 times the other. And then just releasing that leg and then inviting your left leg up. Again, for some of you, you might not be able to get it all the way up to here yet, so as far as is comfortable. So if this is the case, then just clasping your hands behind your thigh and then just rolling out your ankle. So wherever you are today, that is absolutely fine. And then just rolling out that ankle 3 times on each side, and then just flattening the leg again. Now we're going to take our right leg again into our bodies, and then we're just going to let it twist and let it fall over to the left side, and then just taking our right arm and our gaze to the right. So we've got our right leg pointing to the left, and then we have our gaze and our right arm pointing to the right. And your left hand can just rest on the hip, so you might need it just to push you a little bit, or you can just rest on the knee, but don't put pressure on the knee, or it can just be on the floor. So wherever you want your hand to go, that's fine. And just enjoy that lovely stretch in the spine and in the hips. And then just coming back up, and then we're just going to swap over. So we're just going to flatten that right leg, and then we're going to bend the left leg and just put that over to the other side, like that. And then our gaze and our left arm and hand are going to go to the opposite side. So if your bent knee and your gaze and your opposite arm are the opposite sides of each other, then you know you're doing it right. It's a bit of a tongue twister. And just enjoy that twist in the lower back, that lovely stretch. And then when we come back in, we're just going to pull both of our knees into our chests for forward pose. For some of us, it might be more comfortable just to stay still with our head down. For others, you may want to bring your neck up and just roll around a little bit on the mat. Or you might want to keep your head down and roll around on the mat. That may be easier. So again, don't feel pressured to have to pull your legs right in. It does take a lot of practice. So for some of you, it might look like this.
so that's absolutely fine. As long as you're supporting your legs in some way, then just keep it like this. Don't pressure or force yourself to get into a pose. You will naturally find yourself doing it. Okay, and then just roll that out. Just massaging that lower back. Okay, and then one leg at a time. Just getting comfortable on your mat. So a block for here, because this is supposed to be a nice relaxing end pose. Shavasana. Okay, so we're going to have our palms facing up. Now we can let our feet drop open, so no active toes here. We're going to have relaxed toes dropping out to each side. Lower back flat on the mat. Close your eyes. Just breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, and just slow everything down. Let your body absorb what you've just done. So letting the mat take all of your weight, all of your strain or any of your stresses. Just let the mat absorb all of that. Just imagine you're melting through the mat. And you can stay here for as little or as long as you want. Some people don't like to do this for very long at all, and others like to stay here for around 5 minutes. So if you want to do that, then you can just stop or pause the video and stay here for as long as what you need. And then when you're ready to come back into the world, we're just going to turn onto our side and just curl up into fetal position and just enjoy that. We don't want to rush getting back into seated position because we don't want any dizziness or lightheadedness. And just using that top arm just to support you and push you up into seated. Easy cross leg pose. And then just hands to heart centre. Nose to fingertips. Thank you and namaste.